There's kind of a concept called the 5 freedoms, and that concept was developed over in England many years ago, trying to look at the best possible combination of things that allow that animal to have the best life. And be freedom from hunger and thirst. Well, nobody wants their animals to be hungry or thirsty. If they want them to produce, they've got to have that food. You have to have freedom from stress. And that can be mostly human-induced stress in an animal's life. You look at these cows, they're not worried about much. But as we start interacting with them, we can create stress. But we also have environmental and stress as well. So as part of our job, if we're going to put them in fences, we have to take care of that stress. Another freedom we want them to have is freedom to express natural behavior. And one thing about the beef industry, we are very good at allowing cattle to have access to enough space they can express natural behavior. And that's a misconception. We hear a lot of times about the feedlots. They think we have them all crammed into small cages and pens, and we don't. We're partly our own worst enemy there, because we like taking pictures of cattle with their head in the feed bunk. And as somebody that doesn't understand that they can back out of the feed bunk and go lay down and by themselves, think we just have them locked in there. The other thing, every time we take a picture in a feedlot, we take a picture of a group of animals. But they're herd animals. We can look at these, and they have this big pasture to get in, and they all stay together. And so a lot of times people just don't understand the behavior of an animal, and they look at a picture and they have this perception that that's not normal. But cattle, if they have the ability, will stay in a group. They're a herd animal. So sometimes the lack of understanding of livestock behavior leads to some of these concerns. But having those freedom to express natural behavior, normal behavior, I think is the term they use. Freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from discomfort, I think is one of them. Freedom from pain and injury. Now, pain is one thing that we do have to manage, because it also cuts down on the performance of the animal. So we've talked about we do castrate our bulls, so we need to do that as early as possible to keep the pain level as low as possible. And we monitor that through the performance of the animal. If we castrate them early enough, they don't even really show any symptoms they've been done. If they're done later, then it does, and we're starting to have some products developed to help mitigate that pain. Dehorning is another one. We've done it through genetics as much as, maybe not as much as possible, but that's the normal route we try to take to dehorn animals. But there are reasons for taking the horns off. And a lot of people say, well, just leave them on. But then you get bruising, you get other issues, you get injury of animals because they do use those horns
so
on
really,
each other.
dehorning's for their own safety.
It's for the safety of the people working them and the animal. When we get them in, and part of that is we get in tighter confinement, they have a tendency to use them more. And so once again, all those things come into play. But I think you can't achieve the ultimate in any one of those 5 or all 5 of those at the same time. But to me, it gives us a target. We try to do those things that will alleviate that. And when you're working in a production system that is involved Mother Nature, and the cow-calf operation, for all of its pluses and minuses, we do keep cattle out in the nature. And so we have some unique problems. We don't have controlled environments. We don't have everything controlled from a nutrition standpoint, from a health standpoint, from a biosecurity standpoint. They're exposed to a lot of different things. So it's a unique production system as compared to poultry or swine, where they actually control those environments. So having the ability to monitor those, use that as a target to make sure that these animals go through life in as good a physical and mental shape as they can, is important to not only them but us.